My name is Yohaime Orcshorn. I am quite an old dwarven mayor that has been here in the world of Rathnir for quite some time. But in the 30-odd years I was traveling before I got here to the beautiful town of Drax, a lot happened. I won't tell too much of what has happened during my stay here, because that would be spoiling for future tales I do wish to tell. When I was a kid, I was treated just like any other kid was treated, with care. I was cared for, made sure I was safe, made sure I wasn't hurt. But once I became the age my parents were waiting for, their carefulness dropped overnight, and I now had to work. It was crazy how quickly they changed. But after that day, I was working in the mines all day, almost every day. We were never allowed to leave this mine. That privilege was reserved for Father. We were never told what Father was doing when he left the cave. All we knew at the time was that every couple of days he would leave with our shiniest of our minerals and come back with food. So, for years, this is how I lived my life. Wake up, mine, hopefully eat, sleep, then repeat it in the next morning. Until I got to the age where I started getting curious, getting antsy. I wanted to move, do something new, something else. Me and my older brother Ogden started to become rebellious and snooped around Mother and Father's room. In there we found books that had information of the outside world. In these books is where we learned of names and great people with great names, of art and literature, and people having festivals and party and just having fun. In fact, we loved the idea of names so much that we all agreed to secretly make up names for each other. And that's how I got my first and last name. But we kept reading and looking at these books as Father would bring them in, and eventually my curiosity couldn't grow anymore. It had to be quenched. So I just left. I left everything I had ever known behind to go pursue knowledge and to experience what we had read about. I had mentioned it to Ogden before, but I think he thought I was joking and didn't pay any attention to it. But I did leave. After I left, I started my long and arduous journey down south. I wasn't traveling to be quick and get to somewhere. No, I was traveling to experience life, to experience new things. I saw and learned so much more. I learned the rest of Common so that I could communicate with people easier. I learned about history and storytelling, and that became my new passion. Learning stories, whether it be old or new, made me happy. I tried to collect books, but I never had enough money to buy them. And even if I got books, I wouldn't have a place to store them because I had no home. I did eventually miss having a home, so I told myself that the next time I find an ample-sized chunk of land, I'll make my own home. And during this search is where I stumbled across the then called Drax and now called Khaldun, and my life changed forever, for the better. Drax has been my safe space for so long. It is where I made my own community, my own family. I've worked so hard for this town that it has almost become a part of me. When this place was torn down, I felt like a piece of me was torn and shredded apart. But as I may be leaving this place soon, I hope that this place will be able to live on and carry on my legacy, a legacy of curiosity and a legacy of freedom.